Hello, hi. My name is Tarina. It's Tarina Hines. I just wanted to talk to you about slavery. Sometimes when people get arrested, you have cops out there that think they and believe that they own you. They don't think, they believe they own you. Okay? All because you slap handcuffs on a person does not mean you own them. It ain't murder. It ain't a felony. It's not supervised supervision. Supervision. Think it's supervised probation. Yeah, that's when you gotta check in with an officer, and then you're free to go whenever they decide for you to leave. That's a part of slavery too. Believe it or not, it is. Okay, it is. You got some cops out there that believe that they own people that they arrest. I've been in a situation before where I got in trouble in 2016, and this lady, her name, I'm gonna go ahead on and say her name. Her name was Pachiko. Uh, Announcer Pachiko. She was my neighbor, my ex-neighbor, and I believe when my husband and me had a fight before, she got me arrested. Instead of it being self-defense, she wanted to arrest me instead of arresting him because it was personal. She had problems with me before at the apartment complex. I'm not going to go through all of that, but she believed in her heart, in her soul, her spirit, that in her personality, that I supposed to be a slave to her, not supposed to be a slave to the system. It does not work like that, actually. But when a cop gets your name, your number, and they get your ID, it could be driver's license or ID, any type of identification of yours, to even get your address. They believe in their hearts, their spirit, their personality, that they own the suspect. Now that's the slavery behind that one. Then they'll start, if they feel like you got children, they start getting DCS involved. Like I had this white lady. It was this white old lady. This happened in 2024 to me. I was at Mickey's, and this officer named Officer Lou came at me about some white woman complaining. He didn't even have proof. We never went to court for him to even find me guilty of anything. Didn't even play the cameras back. He didn't do none of that. He instantly got the DCS workers involved. And I was really upset because I noticed I lost my children in 2016. My two sons. It was two. Two sons. It wasn't all of them. In 2016 in the state of Arizona. I know that I've been bad-mouthed. I know the slavery trade that they got in Arizona. First of all, when people make mistakes, it's not always the answer is to arrest them. It's to let them know. It's to give them some type of warning. Well, he didn't ticket me. He investigated the Mickey's. The old lady lied. She had some gray hair, wrinkled face. She was old and white. She was stalking me. And she was in my business. I think she came from California or somewhere. Because it's always them California old people that think that life's supposed to go their way. In California, they do this old slavery trade. Arizona, they do it too. They are backwards with their mindset of believing they shall own the black people. This is something you should really listen to. Okay? Because I'm not lying when I say this. They think they own the minorities. All because they are wearing a badge or they have some type of job position that qualifies them to make any type of judgments against anyone out there. You don't have to be black. This is real, okay? When I'm talking about slavery in Arizona and California, it is so real. It's around the world. It ain't just in Arizona. It's not just in Atlanta, Georgia. It's not just in Chicago, Illinois. Chicago, Illinois, they shoot you dead. They don't give a damn. New York, it's not just in New York. But as long as they see that you have this skin color of being black or darker or fair-skinned, it dumps you in that category of being a black person, a brown, dark brown person, even fair-skinned person. Even with a Mexican, they will do that too before they do that to any white person. Listen to that very clearly. Okay, listen very well to this. I know that a lot of people, they travel, they come from other places. They come from other places, and when you travel, like me, for example, I come from Chicago, Illinois. I'm not coming to Arizona for the law. I'm not trying to be no police officer. I'm not trying to be in none of that. This girl, Anassa Pacheco, that was my old neighbor. She was a bully. She was really mean. She was pathetic as an officer. And I told another officer about her, and they was like, oh my God, speaking of the beast. That lady went straight spiritual and said, she is like the beast. Found out other white girls didn't even like her. And that's how much she was disliked. I knew her enemy right there. She said, and even with the girl Andrea Heard, I knew some of her enemies. And that was cops. You'll be surprised who cops don't like other cops. What cop don't like other cops? Sometimes the good cops don't like the crooked cops. They try to stay out of their way. You're gonna always have a bad cop and a good cop. But they have to understand that this is not slavery. This is not the 1800s. You cannot, all because you arrest a person, you put them in handcuffs, does not mean they belong to you. Okay? It's a slavery thing with marriage. It's a slavery thing with marriage. Sometimes when men go out and they meet another woman, they believe that the other women believe that the wife is the problem, so she goes after the wife because she has his last name. Okay, just like, for example, my name is Tarina Hines. My name will always be Tarina Hines if I get married or not. My name will always be Tarina Hines. It will stick to me to the day I die. I can go and change it if I want to. But when they want to do a biography or when they want to do something really serious concerning me about my identity, they are going to bring up your name used to be Tarina Hines. Even if you get married, my marriage name is Tarina House. I will always be Tarina Hines. There is no identity crisis on that. I will always be Tarina Hines. Okay? Some women will mess with, if you're in marketing or if you have something that your husband really like about you, sometimes other women, they get jealous. They trying to find out what does he like about you that they don't have for them to stay with him or to keep him. That's another form of slavery. A lot of women out there, a lot of men out there, when they get married to a woman, they think they own her possessions because of the last name that's his. Like, for example, my husband's name is Emily's House. My name is Tarina Hines, but I have Tarina House. Tarina House as a marriage name, which I would never do that again. If I get married, I'm going to keep my maiden name. I have Tarina House. So this girl is mad because of the house. And she revenges by hacking the emails hacking my emails, hacking my text messages, and coming over to the apartments, other apartments that I've been at, because she don't like the fact of me having house as a last name. That's her problem. She wants to become ownership of his last name and realize he was married. Oh, I want her to get a divorce. Well, that would be the best thing to happen in the world, because I would go back to me and Tarina house. But she wanted ideas. She wanted the marketing. I do marketing. She wanted the flower vases to be his. She wanted everything that I thought of, stories or songs. She wanted it to be his. He does not even, Emily's house does not even live with me. How can it be all his? I have no clothes of his here. He does not pay me child support. He does not pay me alimony. So I wouldn't believe that everything in this house is his. The furniture is not even the same. It's different furniture. His children grew up, so he will go unrecognizable one day to them. Just the last name is what sticks to the children that he has. And that don't mean that he has to demand the respect of being a father when you have walked out. The ownership is the name itself. And the ownership of those kids is that it's his. It's his children, it's his DNA that's running through their blood. Okay? It's his name, House. House. That's the last name. That says that he to him it would be ownership of my children. So I need to take them from you. That is the way most men think out there. They're my kids. They got my DNA. They got the name House. They got my last name. My last name is House. Their daddy name, my daughter Jada D, Royalty, and Jordan, they all have House on the last name. Those are his kids, Emily's house. So he will feel ahead of time like ownership. He feels like this belongs to him. Like this is the ownership of what I brought into the world. It's the ownership to him. You know, this is not just ownership, but it's money. It's for him to keep the money that he needed to pay them. So sometimes men will take custody of their children away from the mother so they can gain that authority and that power and say, well, hey, I am the ownership of my children. They have my last name. They have my DNA. And they will try to move the mama along and get someone different to help them raise the children, which other females may not love your children the way the real mother may love them. Okay? Anyone that you bring in, that's why I don't have a man up in this house. Because I don't believe that man will love my children like his own. He will not love those children like he loved his own. He got to have a baby by you just to love you or just to stay with you. You got men out there that's like that. And once they do that, then they start acting like the jackass that you left a long time ago. Or they may be the better man for you. They may be the Prince Charming of the day or the Prince Charming of your life. It happens like that. Sometimes men, when they come in, they act the best that they can. They change for the worse or they change for the good. You know? So it happens. And then you have this DCS thing going on, this DCS slavery trade going on. Some DCS workers believe that since you have signed the birth certificate, now listen to this. You give birth to your baby. You know that that's your baby because it came out of your crotch. It came out of your vagina. It took you and your man to make that baby. But the trick of the system is that they believe since you signed your baby to the state, that your baby belongs to them. The baby belongs to them. No, it does not belong. Yes, you signed them to the state for them to have a name, for them to have a birth certificate, to have some type of documentary, official document, official document to say that they exist. That is speaking of their existence. But when you sign that birth certificate, when you sign the application when your baby is born, you also know this, and know this for sure. You are paying. First of all, you're paying for that paper, that official paper. So it doesn't really belong to the state. You paid for that birth certificate. I'm going to wow you on that. And then another thing, when you have to get a birth certificate, notice that you have to get a notary with your name on it. As the mother, as the father, that is still your baby. Even though you signed your baby to the state of when to get a birth certificate, you had to pay. Everything is money. You had to pay. Just like you have to copyright everything to the Washington, D.C. Legal Zoom, or, the copyright stuff. You have to go through Washington, however that thing go with those lawyers, those marketing lawyers, or whatever lawyer you have to help you. Anywhere I go, you pay money. That is your stuff. That is your baby. That is your paperwork, because you paid the money. They didn't pay the money. You were paying them. Okay? So we have to stop saying the fact they own your kids. DCS does not own your kids. They are strangers, actually. Now, if you're doing something wrong to your children, you no longer want them, then you could be pleased to give them up. They will love that, because then they get to sucture you for child support, sucture your husband for child support. Both of y'all will have to pay double child support. And then y'all gonna have to have some type of visitation rights, because they can't really sabotage your rights. We getting to the point of they cannot take away your rights no more. I am going to fight with that, because I don't think that even if DCS do take your kids, your rights as a parent supposed to be there, because you are the birth parent. Unless you murdered your children, that's a whole nother different thing. If you're in jail, incarcerated, then your rights should be taken. If you're in jail, in prison, incarcerated for murdering children, then your rights should be taken. But if you are a mother that did a simple crime, a petty crime, or even if it's domestic violence, and your kids did not get hurt in the midst of it, then they don't supposed to take your rights away. Your parental rights. No. You're not a danger to your child. The man or whoever, because you got to understand, when a man hit a woman, he hits the children too. And that's what Nasa Pacheco did wrong. If a man is hitting your child and hitting the mama, he is a bruising the whole damn family. So therefore, he has to go. He was supposed to have been taken somewhere. The mama's supposed to stay where she needs to stay. And then she's supposed to get some type of relative or someone could come into the house, some type of adult protective service, someone needs to come into the house to look after her, since she's a vulnerable woman. Because you don't know when he's going to come back. You don't know when he's going to come back and start striking and hitting and hurting people. So you have to find a way to keep her safe. I don't believe that I should have left my house in 2016. I don't believe the children should have left the house. His ass should have left. Okay? He should have left. He's the man. He needs to leave. his ass needs to leave. Not you. You the woman. And he needs to pay child support after the situation. That is something the law's supposed to be enforcing. When I was going, that's something that DCS supposed to have been enforcing. DCS supposed to help with that, and the police, and that lawyer supposed to help. You supposed to have 3 people helping you against him. And he's supposed to have him a lawyer too. And probably some family members or some friends or something. But anywhere I go, the mama's going to have to win anyway, because the mama is the one that had the baby. Mama will keep the baby. That's mama's baby's daddy's maybe. You heard of that saying, mama's baby's daddy's maybe. Maybe the daddy may stick around, but it's always going to be mama's baby. It is so true. It is so true. You got more men leaving the household than women leaving their own children, okay? It happens like that. Especially in black neighborhoods, suburban communities. A man is not to be kept all the time. They will change in the blink of an eye and walk the hell out the door the next pussy they meet. It happens. Okay? Then we talk about another slavery trade with ideas and all that stuff with social media slavery trade. We talked about the DCS slavery trade. We talked about parental slavery trade. We talked about the law itself, slavery trade. Now we're going to go to talking about social media slavery trade. You got a lot of people that put stuff on social media, but they have these androids, these special androids. If they know your stuff is not copyrighted, they will scan your whole page to see what is original and what is not. And they will take the original work that you do. And this is something I've been through with Facebook. A slavery trade. It's called a discrimination too. If they know that you're black and they know that you're not doing so well financially wise, they will take your stuff and give it to celebrities. They will sell your information. They will sell, this is really deep what I'm talking about. They will sell your information. They will sell your ideas. They will take your whole Facebook if they got to, if they feel like you are of value. So you will feel less than a value. You will feel unworthy to the billionaires and the millionaires world. If you're black and poor, the minority. It's a lot of deep things that I'm talking about right now. They will take it. And they will give it to someone that they believe that it should be. I know that it sounds unfair, but you have to be careful. Notarize anything that you put on social media networks. Notarize it so it can show your name, your date, the time you had it, because no one comes up with the same thing at the same time. No one thinks like you at the same time. No one even wakes up the same time that you wake up every day. No one eats the same food that you eat every day. No one is like you every day. Okay? No one does the same old things you do every day. Okay? At the same time, the same year? No. It can't be a duplicate. It will never be a duplicate. I'm just going to go ahead on and say that. Be real with you. No. You got your name, you got your year, you got the time, you got what state you in. That's what the notary is for. And he's also a witness of saying that, hey, you have did this. You have did this. You have did this masterpiece. Whether it's an arts, song lyrics, speech, and then you may want to take the extra step by putting it in your email if you got to. If you don't want nobody to see it, just put it in your email and zoom it on through there and get a date and a time. Or if you can, if you will, you could text it to a family member you trust. And they can print it out where they at. And they can get the time and the date for you if the printer is lined up with the time and the date. And they got your name on it too. That's the way you can outrun the slavery trade. And then that's what you call a poor man copyright. You send it through your email because you don't have the money. And even when you do that, no one's supposed to hack your email anyway. Because your email is it has your name on it, or it has your IP address. Your IP address, it matters. The name of the device, the device matters. Okay? The people that invented phones, invented all these computers, the laptops, they did such a great, intelligent job to just do what they need to do. Okay? To make sure your stuff is secured. All of that was not for no reason. Okay? Okay, you're going to talk about landlords. Landlord slavery trade. Sometimes when people sign their lease and stuff, the landlords think they own their own tenants. They believe that signing the lease will lock you into an eviction, or they believe locking you into an agreement to make you pay for stuff that they have not even mentioned. You got landlords that tamper with leases every day and may come up with a whole nother paperwork and say, oh, I forgot to give it to him or her. They came up with something so new. Those are what you call con landlords. They con artist landlords. Those type of landlords you don't even want. And especially if they don't put nothing in writing and give it to you. And they just going on verbal communication. Them are the ones you don't want. You don't want the type of landlords that want to find out too much about you or want to use anything against you for them to get ahead on you. You don't want that type of landlord either. Or a landlord that wants to follow you around the complex and stuff after they said you can live there and harass the hell out of you and stalk you and say, well, you don't supposed to be doing this, coming up with a hand full of rules and a full of violations that you know nothing about. That probably weren't even in the lease. That probably something they just made up or put in there just to kick you out. Take your money, kick you out, give you an eviction, and say they don't want you. You don't want the type of landlords that will, if you're in marketing, you don't want no landlord coming into your home with a key and thinking they supposed to find every reason to come in because they feel like you are going to do something wrong, or they feel like they need something else from you, an extra. That's a slavery thing right there. When they start copywriting your information, if you are writing stories or if you have any type of notes laying around and stuff, you got some landlords that are really thirsty, hungry, greedy, whatever you want to call it, they will copyright it. It happened to me before. It happened to me at Venture Valley. Then the lady wanted to put me out because I caught on to what she was doing. And I caught on to her